This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The time is 15 minutes past 1 o'clock. Here's the news, edited by Catherine Pereira, read by Victor Raj. Let's take a look at the headlines of the local news. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that the government has taken measures to impose curfew and state of emergency to confirm the country's security and the people. The government requests the opposition to provide support to seek solution for the present crisis in the country. It has been stressed that Rome will not allow to risk recurrence of 88-89 terror period. The President rejects the resignation letter of Deputy Speaker. UNDP supports for the development of Sri Lanka's tourism industry. More job opportunities for Sri Lankans in South Korea. Secretary of State for Foreign Commonwealth and Development Affairs of the United Kingdom says that more than 60% of Putin's war chest frozen. Local news in detail. A parliamentary debate is being held to discuss the present economic crisis in the country. Commencing the debate, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa has inquired the parliament about the reason for imposing state of emergency and curfew from the 1st of April. In reply, Education Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that the President has decided to impose state of emergency based on unrest situation created in the country. The police curfew was imposed on the basis of several facts regarding the unruly behavior of the public by harming to the common and private properties that affected to the security of the President by surrounding his official residence. This decision has been taken in order to confirm the national security in the country. He further said that the public has the right to conduct peaceful protest campaigns. It is a severe problem not having finance minister in the country. Opposition leader has also questioned on the decision to be taken by the government in this regard. Minister Gunawardena said that although a finance minister has been appointed temporarily, he has also resigned. He said the President will appoint suitable person for vacant positions in future. The government has taken measures to lift the curfew and the state of emergency after the situation came into normal. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena has requested to support the government to solve this crisis without party differences from the existing parties. Minister Johnston Fernandez said in Parliament that thugs politics will be condemned. Investigation should be conducted into the persons who entered with wearing helmet to the motor car tin which travelled by the leader of the JVP yesterday. He said there seemed to be a recurrence of 88-89 terror period. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has refused to accept Ranjit Sembalapitiya's letter of resignation as the Deputy Speaker of the Parliament. The head of state has requested Sembalapitiya not to step down from his position in order to maintain parliamentary democracy. As the post of Deputy Speaker of Parliament is an independent appointment and taking into account the need to continue the parliamentary proceedings amidst the present situation, President Rajapaksa has told Sembalapitiya that his resignation would be dismissed. Sri Lanka Freedom Party's parliamentary group yesterday announced that its 14 lawmakers, including former President Maithripala Sirisena, would represent the parliament independently thereafter. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The medical insurance plan that begins at the age of 60. Medi 60 from Sri Lanka Insurance.
Continuing with more local news, tourism is a vital economic sector for Sri Lanka, employing 250,000 persons directly and up to 2 million persons indirectly, and accounting for 5% of gross domestic product. However, over the past 3 years, the sector has suffered multiple crises, from the 2019 Easter attacks to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Realizing the need to build the resilience of the industry to face shocks, the Connecting Business Initiative, a joining initiative by the United Nations Development Programme and the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, supported by the Asia-Pacific Alliance for Disaster Management, Sri Lanka has launched the Building Disaster Resilience of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises in the Tourism sector of the Southern Province in Sri Lanka's project. The project works with the key stakeholders and institutions such as the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, Ruhunu Tourism Bureau, GOAL, Matara and Hambantota district chambers and the National Craft Councils of the Southern Provincial Offices. Minister for Government Policy Coordination of the Republic of Korea, Koo Yoon Sherol, who is on an official visit to Sri Lanka, called on the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Professor G.L. Pires, recently. The meeting was followed by a luncheon where two sides discussed the entire gamut of the bilateral relations and explored ways to further strengthen the close and friendly ties between Korea and Sri Lanka. Extending Sri Lanka's deep appreciation to the Korean government for the enormous support extended thus far through loan assistance under the Economic Development Cooperation Fund and grant assistance via the Korean International Cooperation Agency, the Minister of Foreign Affairs stated that the government is looking forward to further expansion into many areas including pharmaceutical production, small and medium enterprise, waste disposal, energy, technology, vocational training and education. That ends local news.
The medical insurance plan that begins at the age of 60. Medi60 from Sri Lanka Insurance. A health insurance plan to honor our most valued elders by the protectors of the nation. We now give our treasured senior citizens access to the very best medical insurance, specially tailored for anyone over 60. What's more, you don't need medical screening to access this policy. And Medi60 covers a wide range of illnesses. Only from Sri Lanka Insurance. Call 0112 357 357.
Moving on to main news story, the business community has requested the government to ban the illegal foreign currency change centers. They also requested to prepare a regulation to change foreign currencies through state and private banks. Earlier, the migrant workers have sent their money through legal manner, and these institutions has completely changed. If they send their money through state banks, it will be helpful to ease the dollar shortage in the country. That ends main news story.
Watch Life is brought to you by
More Prizes, More Gains with CIB New Year offers. Valuable gifts for every bill. 20% discount for bank cards until 10th of April. Visit CIB today.
The people are facing many difficulties for not having passenger roof at the main bus stand of the Koskoda and Ahundal. The passengers have to face many hardships during the rainy days. They request the relevant authorities to make speedy measures in this regard. This is for the attention of the Ministry of Provincial Transport.
More prizes, more gains with CIB New Year offers. Valuable gifts for every bill. 20% discount for bank cards until 10th of April. Visit CIB today.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
No matter what anyone says, for your lease, visit the Leasing Mahagedara. People's Leasing, Friendly Leasing Mahagedara. More information from the nearest People's Leasing branch.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines first. Secretary of the State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs of the United Kingdom says that more than 60% of Putin's war chest are frozen. Western leaders to impose further sanctions on Russia. World leaders reacted to Zelensky's UN message. World news in detail. More than 60% of Putin's war chest has been frozen by sanctions, but more needs to be done, Liz Truss has said. The Foreign Secretary said crippling sanctions are pushing the Russian economy back into the Soviet era. More than $350 billion of Russia's $604 billion foreign currency reserves are unavailable to the regime. She added, her call for more to be done comes amid condemnation after images of the bodies in the streets of Bucha near Kiev emerged after Russian troops withdrew. The US has said that Western leaders are set to announce a further set of sanctions against Russia today. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said the measures will target Russia's financial and state-owned bodies, as well as some officials and oligarchies. Ms. Psaki said the move will hold accountable the Russian kleptocracy that funds and supports Putin's war. Calls for the further sanctions have grown in recent years amid allegations of Russian atrocities in Bucha. Leaders around the world are reacting to the message delivered by the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to the United Nations Security Council. The President said Russia must be held accountable for what he called the war crimes. In his video message yesterday, Zelensky said Russia's veto power at the UN allows evil to remain unpunished. Zelensky accused Russian soldiers of killing anyone they saw, including women and children. He said, as a result of Russian actions, the most terrible war crimes since World War II were committed on Ukrainian territory. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs of the United Kingdom says that more than 60% of Putin's war chest are frozen. Western leaders to impose further sanctions on Russia. World leaders react to Zelensky's UN message. That ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
For your wheel lease, visit the Leasing Mahagedara. People's Leasing, friendly leasing Mahagedara. More information from the nearest People's Leasing branch.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by... Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Infrastructure facilities of 10 projects at the Kadavat Sathar Division or Secretariat Division in Goal districts under the local government development projects has been implemented. The government has spent 1.2 million rupees for the development activities in this area.
Development News was brought to you by... The coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928. Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
National Athletic Championship meet will be held at the Diagama Mahinda Rajapaksa Playground on Friday. The meet will be conducted for 3 days. Vice Chairman of the Sri Lanka Athletic Association, G.L.S. Pereira, said that more than 600 athletes will participate for the tournament. Mahinda Halangoda has been appointed as the Sri Lankan cricket manager. Accordingly, he will act as the cricket manager at the Bangladesh matches to be held in future. Earlier, he has served as the manager of the Under-19 team. That ends sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Assistance will be given to establish water network at the small tea lands. The program will be initiated by the Small Tea Holders Development Authority. 100,000 rupee subsidy will be given for the water supply scheme for small tea lands. The government has allocated 675 million rupees to expedite the program. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Moving on to economic news. Widening its geographical footprint, consumer brand and lifestyle products, Phoenix has inaugurated a modern showroom at Panathura to offer residents in the area the opportunity to transform their lives with its range of new and functional daily products. Led by the vision Designed for Life, Phoenix has embraced a new identity as a consumer products and lifestyle brand with an exciting range of new, bold, colorful and daring products. That ends economic news. Moving on to weather report. The Met Department says that showers or thundershowers will occur at several places over the most parts of the island during the evening or night. Heavy showers above 100 mm can be expected at some places in central, Sabaragamu's southern, Uva and eastern provinces and in Polonnaruwa district. That ends weather report. And to bring to an end the afternoon news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that the government has taken measures to impose curfew and a state of emergency to confirm the country's security and of the people. The government requests the opposition to provide support to seek solution for the present crisis in the country. It has been stressed that room will not be allowed to recurrence of the 88-89 period terror. The President rejects the resignation letter of Deputy Speaker. UNDP supports for the development of Sri Lanka's tourism industry. More job opportunities for Sri Lankans in South Korea. Secretary of the State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs of the United Kingdom says that more than 60% of Putin's war chest frozen. With that, we wrap up the afternoon news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka.